How close were you to the first?
I think we were probably about 10 feet away.
Wow.
When we saw on the news. We were at the finish line, just awaiting a friend, and I was there with my wife and daughter and her friend, and then some family members of the runner, Carmen Acabo. We were here to watch her finish, and the day changes real quick. I mean, we're just out there having a good time and laughing and smiling, and then all of a sudden, it all goes. There was just this explosion, and very, very nearby. I mean, it was so close that you couldn't hear after the explosion.
Really, you couldn't actually hear anything?
I see people's mouths moving and stuff, but I couldn't hear anything. And
how close were you to the first?
I think we were probably about 10 feet away.
Wow.
When we saw thing. And
how close were you to the first?
I think we were probably about 10 feet away.
Wow.
When we saw on the news today, we saw where the explosion occurred. The noise was I think scarier than the blast itself, because it was so loud. I knew instantaneously that something bad had happened.
Were you knocked to the ground?
I wasn't knocked to the ground. I absolutely knew that I was hit with something, because the pain that shot through my leg was incredible. But I just got, my wife was right with me, and I just was kind of hollering at her, "Where is Christara?" who is my daughter. And she said, "She's right there," because, they were saying today the second explosion was 12 seconds later, but I'll tell you, it seemed like it was 3 seconds when you were living through it. So, you heard the second one and you wonder, is there a third, is there a fourth, is there a fifth? I instinctively just didn't want to look down because I knew something was wrong, but there was just a puddle of blood, like, the size of an oversized dinner plate. And then I took another step and there was another puddle of blood that size, and another step, and I wasn't walking slowly, I was moving quickly, so I knew.
So you were bleeding a lot?
It was coming out, and at a kind of scary rate.
Where was your leg injured?
I didn't really find out until I actually hit the trauma room here downstairs, and it wasn't anything fun to look at. It's just an open wound. There's just like a chunk of the leg was just not there.
So you have a friend who lost both their legs?
I do. From the time of the blast, we didn't see, and unfortunately later we learned that their injuries were worse. I mean, I had, one of my friends, lost both her legs below the knee, and it's just horrible.
Are you angry?
Of course. I mean, people died. People died.
I've been talking to a lot of people today, just around, and a lot of people today say they don't want to live in fear. They don't want to make this event change the way they live. They want to kind of move forward in the face of it.
Exactly. You can't let people take control of your life like that.